Hey everyone, and welcome to Comic Breakdown. And today, we are going to be continuing on with the King in Black event and the issues that have released this week. In this video, we will be covering Namor, issue number 2. This is written by Kurt Busiek, artist is Benjamin Dewey, and color art is Triana Farrell. Now this tie-in has been a little bit difficult to understand how it's really having its connection to the King in Black event. And it doesn't seem to be like there's symbiotes underwater or symbiotes visiting Atlantis in the past. But really we're seeing Namor as a young prince searching out some kind of artifact that his people need to restore. Now this artifact is called the Forgotten Stone. Or the Unforgotten Stone, my apologies. It's some kind of dark and powerful relic that they really don't have much understanding of yet. So without further ado, let's dive into this issue. So getting into this one, we have Dorma, Attuma, and Namor all together fighting off a band of raiders and rebels alongside the Swift Tide. And we covered a lot of who exactly the Swift Tide are in the last issue, but really they're just the warriors to be. Whenever their name is heard, their enemies tremble, their countrymen cheer. These guys are the pinnacle of warriors when it comes to the ocean. And we see all of them battling these raiders like it is absolutely nothing. They are just tossing them and throwing them like it is no problem at all. And we see the raiders start to take off, to try to make an escape, because the Swift Tide is too much to handle. And so the Swift Tide and R3 make pursuit. But upon cresting over one of these ridges, they see a giant octopus of some kind of creature from the deep. And these raiders have been feeding this thing in the hopes that it will actually do their bidding, more or less. But instead we see the Swift Tide and Dorma make quick work of this thing, and it gets sliced up into sushi. And so after this battle has been won, all of our heroes are sitting around a campfire, really getting to know one another, talking to each other, passing the time. But then this is when we get on the topic of magic. Because Dorma is extremely interested in being able to learn some kind of magic, and Sycorax is really masterful in comparison. And this is where she tells her, magic is really ever rarely about raw power, but about will and influence, shaping the magic as it flows. And then they get on the topic of the relic, the Unforgotten Stone. And this is where we learn a little bit of history behind this thing. And this is where they tell the history of the early days when the great old ones were upon them, near gods from the outer dark, beyond reality itself. They enslaved the deep. They had built great cities, vast and forbidding, and they spawned terrible creatures that now live in the shadows, even to this day. But the Atlanteans had fought back. And when they got the opportunity, they imprisoned all of this darkness within the stone. So the stone itself is essentially a manifestation of evil. So it's really starting to seem like the top priority here is going to be getting this stone back to where it belongs, so this darkness doesn't spill out into the world again. And as they go out searching for it, they run into some humans that have gotten relatively close to where the stone is. And if they get any closer, it could cause it to release. And so they make their way over and they go inside of this cavern where they're battling all kinds of beasts, and the Swift Tide pushes Namor, Dorma, and Attuma out of this little cavern and seal it up behind them. And their thought process in doing this is, if they fail here today, they need somebody to be able to tell the tale. Even if they win or lose, somebody needs to be able to get back and tell everybody exactly what happened. And it's not long after we see the Swift Tide arrive from the darkness, but they have become darkness themselves. And now we get an evil version of the Swift Tide, and that will be where this issue ends. So let me know what you think. The Swift Tide is now the Black Tide. So what could that mean for the future going forward? Are they going to be able to use this stone and contain the darkness? And could they be possibly suggesting using this stone in some way to entrap or imprison Null himself? because I'm still failing to see any kind of real connection to symbiotes, to Null, to Venom, to Spider-Man, to literally anything actually going on right now in any of the events. As it stands right now, I really feel like these last 2 issues we could have done without. It's not bad to see these things. Issue 2 was not nearly as eventful as issue number 1 was. Let's hope going into the next one, it's going to give a little bit more. Hopefully it picks up some more. Hopefully we get a lot more connections and understand exactly why this is part of this event. So yeah, if you guys have not yet, please do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that sub button, and until the next video,